Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Cinegeeks. My name is Gavin and I'm here with my buddy Neville.
Today we're starting a new series called B-Flicks, where we'll be discussing lesser known and often crappy movies. Last week's movie, Born to Ride, should have been the first in this series, but at that point we hadn't come up with a flashy name or graphics for our thumbnails.
Today's movie is Santa's Sleigh, a slasher film that seems promising at first, but then devolves into nothing more than a series of sexual innuendos and fart jokes.
This movie starts with a stuck-up rich family full of despicable characters having a Christmas dinner, when Santa enters through the chimney and starts killing them all in outrageous ways.
If you're into slasher films, this seems like a promising start, but unfortunately it's all downhill from here.
Next we're introduced to the main characters, Nicholas and Mac, and their boss, Mr. Green, who owns the deli where they work. We're also treated to a scene that features a little old lady with a potty mouth, because that's funny, right?
Merry Christmas, Mrs. Talbot.
Thank you, and go fuck yourself.
No, it's not. Fortunately, for the rest of the characters, she crosses paths with Santa, and he runs her off the road, presumably killing her.
So Mac is clearly interested in Nicholas, but he's oblivious. Or maybe he's just not interested, because her cuteness was overpowered by her love of crappy music.
One for the kids who like to get toys. Two for the ones who like to make noise. Three for Santa cause he rolls with elves. And if you're feeling my flavor, just rock the bells.
He tells Mac that he doesn't like Christmas because he always got crappy gifts, and that all he ever wanted was Optimus Prime or Castle Grayskull.
You don't care too much for Christmas, do you?
I've never had much reason to.
Why?
I don't know, it's always disappointing. Like, I'd want an Optimus Prime or a Castle Grayskull, and I'd always end up with a stupid mini-bake oven or something.
Mac drops off Nicholas at his home, and we're introduced to his wacky grandpa. His character is basically a ripoff of the dad from Gremlins. He comes up with asinine inventions, and everyone thinks he's crazy. One of his silly inventions is a nutcracker that shoots exploding walnuts.
As Grandpa takes Nicholas to see his bunker, we're treated to the first of many childish jokes, when Grandpa farts in his face.
Oops. Sorry. Why? What for? Oh, God. You didn't.
I said I was sorry.
This scene sets the tone for the remainder of the film.
Grandpa takes out an old book and explains that Santa was actually the counterpart to Jesus. Like Jesus, he was the result of an immaculate conception, but he's the son of Satan. His explanation is interrupted when they have a visitor.
It's Mac, and she has a gift for Nicholas.
You got me a gun?
This is probably my favorite line of the whole film, if that tells you anything.
I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but what are you, fucking retarded?
No, you jagoff. It's more than meets the eye. You said you always wanted one.
We then go to a church where the preacher is asking people to donate for charity and encouraging them to give bills instead of coins.
Dig deep into your hearts and deep into your pockets. Give them your money and don't give them coins. I see a lot of coins in that plate. Give them bills. Give the needy bills.
In the next scene, we see the preacher going to a strip club, and we see why he insisted on those bills.
Well, there's something for your stocking.
You weren't even here, Pastor.
Oh, yeah, baby, yeah! Nice tent.
Then Santa arrives at the strip club. I'm pretty sure the only reason a strip club scene was included in the film was for the setup of this glorious line.
Ho, ho, hoes.
Santa then proceeds to kill everyone in the club.
We then go back to Nicholas and Mac. Mac says Nick's grandpa is a bit odd. Nicholas gets upset and retaliates by insulting her father.
Odd is being a member of the Rifle of the Month Club. Odd is when all the available wall space in your house is covered with the head of an endangered or extinct animal. Odd is someone's father I know.
Mac gets mad and then leaves.
You got my number. Call me when you're ready for a more mature relationship.
Nicholas takes Grandpa's book and reads more about Santa, and we're treated to a crappy stop-motion animation that explains that Santa was beaten in a curling competition by an angel, disguised as an old man. Since Santa lost, he was forced to stop his annual day of sleighing, and instead have an annual day of joy for the next 1,000 years. Of course, Nicholas discovers that the competition took place exactly 1,000 years ago.
Shit. That was exactly 1,000 years ago.
We're treated to another cheap joke when Nicholas goes to the Gonad website where there's a Santa tracker.
Haha! Gonad means balls. Ah. The next scene shows two bratty kids opening their presents. Of course, for no reason, right in front of their parents, they both swear like sailors, because that's funny, right?
I can't wait to see the shit we got. Can we open our motherfucking presents now?
Of course.
There's a missed opportunity here, in my opinion. Clearly Santa is delivering booby-trapped gifts to kids, but we only see this one scene. I think they should have had several scenes of kids opening their deadly gifts. They could have been creative with this concept and shown kids opening boxes full of bees or snakes, more kids blowing up, maybe getting weapons for Christmas and then going berserk and causing chaos of their own.
Then more innuendos. The preacher is having a memorial for the victims of the strip club massacre, and he reads off the names of some of the victims.
Pray with me, if you will, for the salvation of Crystal Candy, Sierra Rains, Dixie Wrecked, Tess Tickler.
At least the lead stripper, Dixie Normus, and the club's owner, Oliver Closeoff, escape with their lives.
Santa goes to the deli and attacks Mr. Green with a menorah.
Nicholas hears about the attack on a police scanner and rushes to the deli. He doesn't have a vehicle, but somehow he manages to get there long before the cops. The cops finally arrive and take Nicholas in for questioning, where we get this wonderful exchange.
Do you work for Cock or Bush?
Never worked for Bush, only Cock.
So you like Cock, huh?
Cock's terrific.
So you're not a fan of Bush?
I wouldn't say I don't like Bush. I just prefer Cock.
This is just another pointless scene that's only here to set up a few lame dick jokes. Nicholas has a brief conversation with Captain Cock, where he tries to warn him that Santa is killing people, and then he just leaves.
Santa comes in and kills all the cops, and then takes a cop car and pulls over Mac and Nicholas.
What is it with you and Cock?
How ridiculous. He sucks.
Cock?
I just can't.
Neville? Hey, Neville, come back. Where are you going? I can't do this by myself.
You said we were going to review movies that were so bad they're good. This is just childish garbage. They're not paying me enough to sit through this.
It's almost over. What if I promise to let you pick the topic of our next video?
Really? I can pick the next one?
Yeah, sure thing, pal. Let's just finish this up and we can go watch some Star Trek.
Classic Trek, right? None of that STD crap.
Of course.
Oh, alright.
So, Nicholas and Mac manage to shake off Santa, and then they go to Nick's house. Grandpa takes them down to the bunker, and then Santa arrives. They go to the garage, where Grandpa has a couple of snowmobiles. He wants to escape and go to town to warn everyone.
Like they haven't noticed the 30 people that have been killed so far. They have to go and warn them.
While Grandpa is distracted by a conversation with Santa, he's mowed down by Santa's reindeer on steroids.
Aw, Grandpa got run over by a reindeer.
I just can't!
No, hey, wait. The movie's almost over. We're almost out of this, I promise.
Okay.
So after a ridiculous chase, they arrive in town. There's some sort of Christmas event going on, and Santa chases the crowd and scoops up the preacher and knocks him out.
This gives Nicholas and Mac a chance to escape. They break into a school to hide. Nicholas almost scores with Mac, but then he's cock-blocked by Santa. They're just about to be killed when the ghost of Grandpa appears and saves them.
Grandpa challenges Santa to another curling competition, but Santa cheats. Nicholas says it's midnight, so Christmas is over, but Santa says it's over when he says it's over. Nicholas shoots Santa with the Grandpa's silly nutcracker, and while they're rescuing Grandpa, Santa escapes.
Nicholas and Mac are leaving, but for some reason Grandpa can't leave the area. This makes no sense. They leave and find Mac's dad's hunting club and convince them to shoot Santa. The hunters are all firing at Santa when someone from the back of the crowd fires a rocket launcher, blowing up Santa and his sleigh. It was Mac's dad.
Daddy?
Hi, sweethearts!
Daddy, where did you get that bazooka?
The preacher falls from the sky and gets impaled by a flagpole. Everyone assumes he was the crazy Santa the whole time, even though they just saw the real flying sleigh.
It's Pastor Timmons.
Pastor Timmons is the psycho Santa guy.
What a scandal. I was one of his altar boys.
For some reason, Nicholas decides not to tell the truth about the real killer Santa. And then we cut to a stupid scene where Santa books a flight to the North Pole.
The credits roll, and the credits are honestly the most clever part of the whole movie. They mark everyone in the cast as naughty or nice.
This movie was a complete disappointment. It was just an excuse to tell a bunch of lame dick jokes.
I agree. I understand that the movie wasn't meant to be taken seriously, but it should have at least been entertaining. The plot was stupid, and after the first few kills, there wasn't even any entertaining violence.
Can we go and watch Star Trek now? I need to forget this movie exists.
Sure, buddy.
If you enjoyed this review as much as I hated this movie, then don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
Wait, we didn't do a closer like we always do.
I'm done.
We're the Cinegeeks. I think they should have shown